Hey everybody, Thomas here. So today I really should be cutting posts and beams and boards and stuff for my new shop that I need to work on. But this cherry log here, it has been sitting just waiting for me to cut it, and I just can't let it sit any longer. So it does have, I wouldn't call it scale, but it does have some separation of the bark here, and that's really because this log has been down for a long time and it's really just starting to dry out. The log is over 8 foot long, and it, I think on one end's around like 19-ish inches. Now, what I'm doing differently is I'm not really paying attention to this big old check on this end of the log. So if you see this check is in the vertical direction direction's not the best for me because of the Daniel falling over there, based on the curvature of the log. I like the curvature of this log. This would be great for some really unique looking slabs. So I wanted to keep that curve in the log. That being said, I'm going to have a little check to work with on one end. I'm hoping that it's only going to be, just a few inches into it and I can cut it off. But again, this log's been sitting here for a while. I'm going to go ahead and get her cut up. I've got the what do you call it, the image stabilizer right now, and it does have a little tripod, so I'm going to use this because, again, I have left my tripod at Mr. Jack's house, and I have not made my happy butt over there yet. So and again, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and I apologize, we had to cancel our sawmill show at the end of the month, but I think that's the best thing for right now until all this stuff settles down. But while here at the O'Brien homestead, we're going to continue to cut a lot of wood. I've reorganized my wood lot. Let's see if I can get that out there. So I reorganized my wood lot, and I have things staggered here behind the tractor, which I need to cut first. And then in the very distance over there behind all the trucks and the cars, I put out some of the railroad ties that I had, and I'm going to start placing my wood out there based on size. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off and show some cutting of this beautiful cherry. Thanks. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try cutting from a different vantage point here because this tripod is quite a bit smaller, so bear with me please. I know this won't be my typical location where I film from, but get the log essentially in the orientation that I want. I'm going to go and crank up the mill, get the water going, and make some cuts. Now I have a blade on here that I've only cut up one little oak log with, so it's pretty fresh and clean. It left essentially no marks when I was just doing it a second ago. So here we go. Okay, so that first cut went really well. Now I've got the computer set. We're going to go ahead and do 1.5 inches for each cut, and I've got it where it's measured from bottom up. Daniel, let's not do that. I'm going to go ahead and try another vantage point midway through the cut, so bear with me. Hoping there won't be too much vibration from this. Let's see. It's not too bad. It looks like it's taking out the vibration. Go ahead and turn it one more time. That first cut that I did on the other side was my reference cut. I turned the log, I did a few cuts on this side. Each of those, the first one being on this side was a skim cut, just to get a nice flat edge on one side, and then 2.5 inch cuts as per what was on the computer here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'll do 2 more 1.5 inch cuts on the other side, and then we'll see what we have in the middle and see if there's something I can book. I think I'll be able to do a nice book cast in the center of this. take a look what we have. I think this will be pretty interesting for some folks just to see how pretty this is. I'm going to turn my water off. So, sorry, I'm using my image stabilizer here, so it's a little bit hard for me to pan correctly, but those are pretty. This is really pretty. It doesn't have spalt per se. It just has some weathering on the outside, and actually it's pretty nice on the inside. Look at that beautiful little grain pattern there. All right, let's see if I can get this next slab off. Show you. Look at that. That is pretty. I don't know why my camera did that, but it did. But yeah, that's some pretty stuff. I think this will be a gorgeous piece to book match now. What I have is 6 3/8 inch left, and now I'm just going to kind of have to figure out what would be the best approach. Now again, I do have that check. That check does not seem to go but only a couple inches in. So yeah, this is a nice log right here. I got this from Tennessee on the farm, and I think this right here, I mean, that would be a beautiful behind the sofa type little table. I mean, just beautiful colors and everything. I'm very happy with it looks. So now I'm going to do some thinking once I get this next slab off and figure out what's the best thing to do. So yeah, we'll see what I decide. Okay, what I've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it one more time. I'll take 2 more slabs off of it, and then the center portion here around the pith is what I'm going to book match. Now I know there's a lot of people who say, you know, it is the weakest part, and it is. The pith is the weakest part, but this one looks gorgeous, and I think even with some bow ties and some work with my buddy's new planer, Jack's 25-inch planer, we can make this work. So just shooting from a different angle, but here we go. now I got to figure out what side I want to do the book matching on. I think I'm going to make this one pretty interesting. We had a bell out the top and bottom. Take yeah, I've got a little more substantial wood down here than on top. I'm going to take the top off. This is always interesting when you get something this small, but I got to get the fine edge. Stop right there. Okay. I'll do one more. One more for good luck. I could turn that into a table leg. Maybe two. Maybe more. I don't know. So I think that is going to turn out pretty nice. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and book match it out here so you can see. Now we'll see what this pit does. It looks pretty weak because there's also, it was starting to break on me a little bit, but I think this is going to look pretty good. Tommy, do we have a broom over here?
That could work. Scrape. Do a better job of scraping it off.
Yeah.
Scrape it.
So we do have some carpenter ants on here, but that's all fun and dandy. Blade was running really good. Oh yeah. This will be a pretty table. I'm glad that I did what I did. This is going to be a lot of work, but I think we can make it work. So, the finale. Sorry, this has been a long video. How about that? My approximation on height was really close. That'll be a gorgeous table. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Something a little bit different. I did no time lapse whatsoever, so you get the full length. Now, if I wasn't doing all the filming and thinking and talking, I could have just flown through this, but I would not. I don't believe, gotten maybe the same results, because when I take my time, I tend to do better, as I do in most things. But I'm very happy with the way it looks. I think this would be a pretty table, and 28 inches wide is what this is going to be at the narrowest. I don't know. Anyways, when I made the cuts for this, it was like 14 something. So that's a decently good sized table. I mean, that could be a small dining room table for someone, or an office table. But overall, very happy the way it turned out. Mill was running great. Blade was running great. I have to appreciate Mr. Robert. I'll sharpen blades or anything, but this is the blade where I'd kind of screwed up on them in the past, and he was able to fix it for me. And as you can see, it left very little markings on this. And this is the second log that I've cut with this blade. So trying to get some more content out there, so when you're quarantined at home, you get some good videos to watch. So again, this is Thomas signing out, and hope all is well and safe for everybody, and stay smart, and have fun while you're social distancing from folks.